are in overhead mode to talk about Copacetic Cosmetics. So, I purchased from Copacetic Cosmetics during their anniversary sale last summer in 2021. I got a few different things. I got some eyeshadows, nail polish, perfume, an empty palette. So we're going to talk about each of these things. Let's go ahead though and start with the eyeshadows. So I have 6 eyeshadows that I purchased. This first one is Sparks Fly. It's considered a shimmer, but to me it leans more on the flaky side, although it's technically not called a flaky on their website. But you can see here it does have a lot more texture than some other shimmer eyeshadows. I'll just go ahead and swatch it on the back of my hand since there aren't that many shadows to swatch. Here it is. It's really, really sparkly. Not a whole lot of base, maybe like a little bit of a translucent pink type of base, but mostly it's that sparkle. That sparkle is kind of thicker in texture. I'm not sure if you can see those particles, but they are a little bit thicker, but they are super, super shiny. I mostly use this shadow as a topper because if you do it like a little bit lighter, you can kind of see it gives that sparkle effect, but you can kind of make it more opaque if you layer it and are careful with how you apply it. Something else I should say before we get started is all of Copacetic's eyeshadows are typically priced at $5. I'm pretty sure this cookie one was actually $5.50 because it was like a special collection. I don't have any of their multi-chromes, although I'm really, really interested in trying them. I know K-Tings, like Kayla, I forget her full username, but I'll link her in the comments. She's done a lot of swatches on Instagram of the Copacetic multi-chromes, and there are a few that I really, really want to pick up after my no-buy, but for now I don't have any to show you. But so yes, Sparks Fly is $5, and I think that this is a pretty good quality eyeshadow. It's really unique texture-wise compared to anything else I have, which sometimes makes it a little bit more challenging to use, but it is super unique and I really enjoy that one. Next up, we have Cookie Dough, and this is actually a scented eyeshadow, so it does indeed smell like cookie dough, which I enjoy. I know it's not for everyone though. You can see the pan is unique. It looks like a cookie, so there's like little chocolate chips in here. It's not quite as clear because I have used this shadow a lot. I find in practice, those little cookie dough pieces, or like chocolate chips, I guess, are sometimes a little challenging because it can kind of create a like uneven color. But if you swatch it out and kind of blend it all together, you get this nice like shimmery beige color, a little bit deeper than a beige, I guess, but it's a nice neutral brown, pretty mid-tone with a nice shine, no sparkle in it, but a nice metallic. The next one is Mimosa. This is another shimmer. This one is a little bit more textured than Cookie Dough, a little bit more flaky. I'm not sure if you can see that as I'm applying it. It's a little flaky, but if you smooth it out, it becomes this really nice like champagne, warm like orange leaning champagne color. And again, it's got a nice shine, but it is a little bit more textured and needs smoothed out. And if I tilt my hand, I'm not sure if you all will be able to see it with my camera quality, but it does kind of shear out in places, but that sparkle throughout it makes it appear more opaque on the eyes. Next up, we have, actually let's do this one first since this is my last metallic. This is Bermuda, and I think this is a really cool shade. It's like a blue jean blue, like a dusty blue with a gold shift in it. It's really, really pretty. I like this one. I think it's a nice like blue for blue eyes. It's not like too bright. It matches at least my eye color pretty well. And you can see it does have a pretty strong shift between that blue and that gold. I really enjoy that one. I would say out of all of them, Bermuda might be my favorite just because it's really unique to me and I think it's a cool shift and it is shiny. Although again, no sparkle in this one, just shine. Now we'll go ahead and do this guy. This is the only flaky I have. I'm kind of scared to turn it over. Oh, look, it just did what it does. Okay, I'm gonna put that back in there. This is Sunshine. So as you can see with what just happened, this is not in the pan, and you can see when I just touched it, it is like completely like just loose. Essentially, I have to store this one separate from the rest of my eyeshadows because it is basically broken. It's always kind of been like this since I got it, but it's not shattered or anything like that, but it does make it really hard to pick up because anytime I dip my finger in, it just kind of like explodes out of the side. This is the color Spring. It's a yellow with a pink shift, and I do really like the actual like color of it. I just don't know if I can actually pick any up. You can see here it's got that really strong pink sparkle in it when it's like actually applied. Maybe I'll just like pick up a chunk and kind of rub it in. There you go. So it is really, really chunky, as flakies are, but you can see it's got a really light yellow base, like almost transparent, but very translucent at the least. But then it has that really strong pink sparkle in it. I really like flakies. I love seeing what like Monica Jones does on Instagram. I'll link her Instagram too. But she uses these a lot, and they're really beautiful. It's just, for me, I don't know if I would repurchase any flakies just because of the experience I've had with this one. It is so fragile. It almost is unusable because like anytime I pick it up, it just kind of, oh my god, ah, no. See what I'm saying? It makes me nervous. So there is that one. Let me go wash off my hands and then I'll be back for the last one. The last one is a matte. This is a nice orange shade. Online, I thought it was going to be more pastel. I was looking for a pastel orange, which is why I got it. This is Sunglow. IRL, it's much deeper than I expected. I find that the Copacetic matte formula, at least this one, is very pigmented, as you can see. Pretty blendable. Not my absolute favorite matte formula, but I do like it. And I would purchase more mattes in the future. It's just they didn't have any other colors that were really speaking to me. So these are the 6 shadows that I have. I would say out of them, Bermuda is definitely my favorite, probably followed by Sparks Fly just because it's interesting, followed by maybe, I guess Mimosa and Cookie Dough are kind of tied. They both are interesting, but they aren't perfect shadows to me. Followed by the matte, and then followed by the flaky. But I am really, really curious to try a few of those multi-chromes someday. And again, all of these $5. Next up, we have this nail polish. The nail polishes, at least this one was $8 originally, but I got it for $4. It was 50% off. I really like this color. It's really interesting. It's like an acid yellow, but it's not neon, and for that reason it was really unique to me. However, the formula is a little difficult to work with in comparison to a lot of my other nail polishes. It is simultaneously thin but thick. What I mean by that is the color itself is kind of thin when you first apply it, although it's not called a jelly nail polish. I think it's supposed to be a cream. But it's a little bit thin. It kind of goes on patchy with 2 coats, and I need a 3rd coat, but I kind of have short nails, so if you had long nails, you might need 4 coats for this. But at the same time, I'm not sure if you can see while I'm like kind of playing around with it. It's kind of a thick texture, and it takes quite a while to dry. Because of that, I don't know if I would purchase another nail polish, even though they have really interesting colors. It's just not my personal favorite formula. But if you are wondering, this is the shade Banana Kiwi. I should have put it on for this video, I just realized. Maybe I will insert a picture of what this nail polish looks like on my nails. Next up, we have the Perfume. It's Enchanted Garden. It was supposed to be a floral, which I love florals, so I thought I would try it out. However, not my favorite. I've had it for a while, and you can see I have not used much of it. The main reason for that is I find that this is very alcohol-y. There is some fragrance to it, but that alcohol seems to not fade like it does with some other perfumes where you spray it on, it smells alcohol-y, and then you get the top notes after that. To me, this is just really alcohol-y. So again, not my favorite, not what I would recommend from the brand. I definitely think the eyeshadows are where it's at. Next up, we have this magnetic palette. I really like that there's no mirror in this, and I like that it's see-through so I can see what's in there. I got this for $10. I'm pretty sure it retails for $15, and I got it on sale during that anniversary sale. The one thing I don't like about this is, well, I guess there's two. One, before I had a magnetic tool, I really struggled to get eyeshadows out of this packaging because there's no puncture on the side or like dips in the front where you can like get your hand in there. The other thing, and kind of ties to that first thing, is these holes are really tight for some 26mm pans. And I'm not sure why that is, but I've had issues where you have to really push to get it in there, which then becomes an issue if you don't have a magnetic tool because you kind of have to like push on the side to get it out again. So I could see this getting damaged for that reason if you don't have a magnetic tool. But all in all, I think it's a good palette, and I'm happy to have it. I find a lot of magnetic palettes are open on the inside, and I like the fact that this looks like an actual eyeshadow palette, so it feels like a little bit more secure. It looks a little bit like nicer, you know, and I like it. The last thing I actually don't have because I used it up completely, but I will insert a picture. I had one of their solid brush cleaners. I had the lavender scent. It was nice. I liked it. I didn't love it. I'm pretty sure it normally retails for $8, which is a little bit more expensive than like the e.l.f. one that I really like to use. I also found like the purple flower looked beautiful, but it was dyed that color, and so sometimes as I was like cleaning off my brushes, I could like see my brushes like had that purple dye in them, and I had to like really scrub that out. It also had sparkle in it, so sometimes there was an issue with the sparkle, but I did like this fact that it was scented, and I thought that it cleaned my brushes really well. Okay, so now that we've talked about the different products that I've used, I just kind of want to give some oversight into the brand. So for shipping, it took about a month for stuff to get to me, which was made very clear when I ordered. Their anniversary sale is like their biggest sale of the year. They typically get a lot of orders, so I knew that they had a lot of orders and it was going to take a while because it is an independent, family-owned brand. That was fine with me. I purchased stuff on the 1st of July and received it almost a month later on July 24th. So right around like 3.5 weeks. The owner is super, super sweet. I feel like she really prioritizes collaborating with different creators. She does a ton of giveaways. She does a ton of sales. You can tell she really puts her heart and soul into the brand and is very active on platforms like Instagram and just seems really, really nice and like she really cares, which to me is important and I think really speaks highly of a brand and makes me want to go back to a brand. Now, again, the products themselves, some I liked better than others. I really want to try those multi-chromes. How many times can I say that in this video? But I thought everything was really reasonably priced. Some indie brands are more expensive. Copacetic was really cheap. Again, I got pretty much all of those eyeshadows 50% off too. So I paid $2.50 for most of those eyeshadows. Now, I do find that their eyeshadow formula isn't my absolute favorite. It's a little bit drier, a little bit flakier, you know, even if they're not technically like the flaky eyeshadows, but their metallics for the most part are pretty smooth from what I've tried. That Bermuda one, man, I really like that shade. But that's all I can tell you about this brand from my experiences. I really enjoyed the package I got. Like, it was really cute. It had like a little note in it. And again, I just think that the brand does a really great job at customer service and, you know, providing affordable indie makeup. But I definitely think that there are some things that are worth purchasing more so than others. I know that this was a short one. I didn't really get a lot from Copacetic before I went on my no-buy, but if you have any questions about the brand or your own thoughts and experiences with the brand, go ahead, put them down in the comments, so that way we can all kind of help each other out and choose which indie brands are right for us. But until I see you next time, I hope that you stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Bye!